And I have the privilege and the honor to be standing on this stage with a brand new director who just stepped up at the end of May. And his entire org is over there. How awesome is that? And I want to tell y'all a little bit about Brad. I read an email that I received at the home office, and I read this email, and it literally touched my heart. And it was probably in March. And I came to Jubilee that year, and I was up here, and somebody said, "Hi, I'm Brad." And I go, "I know you. I read your story." And I want y'all to hear Brad's story, because 3 years ago, Brad, you never thought that you would ever be part of Tupperware or standing on this stage.
Sure.
So please tell them and share your story.
I can. Hello, everyone. First, I have to say that 3 years ago, my first Jubilee, when I came here, and I saw y'all were a little bit crazy, but in a good way, right? I thought, wow, I was so inspired by everyone in this room, so it means a lot to me to get to talk to you guys right now. So if you kind of rewind time a little bit, back in the summer of 2013, so about 3 years ago, I was living the life that I thought was perfect. I thought that things were exactly the way they were meant to be, and they were going according to plan. My husband and I built this beautiful dream home in St. Louis, where I'm from, and we were doing our final walkthrough in the house, checking the paint colors and checking the drywall and things that you think mean so much at the time. And we were walking through the bathroom, and Jim looked at me kind of strangely, and then he just dropped on the floor. It wasn't a good time, so he turned purple. He was down. I yelled for help, and there was an angel in this house who was a painter who was fixing something that I had complained about, which is ironic. And he started giving Jim CPR, but he unfortunately stopped, and he said, "He's dead," which was devastating and confusing and overwhelming and emotional. But you know, we kept helping him, and unfortunately he didn't regain consciousness. But they got an ambulance, got him to the hospital. They put him in a coma for about a week. They were preparing me to say goodbye. They said he wasn't gonna really wake up. And one night, this really special night, I was like, I am not leaving this waiting room tonight. I just had this feeling in my heart that I needed to be there. And my mom, who's like one of my best friends in the world, she stayed with me, and we slept on these uncomfortable waiting room chairs. And at like 2 a.m, a nurse came running to me, and she's like, "You have to come now." And I was like all disheveled, and my shoes were off, and my hair was crazy. And I went running back to the ICU, and I thought it was time to turn the machines off and say goodbye. But Jim was laying there with his eyes open, and they took his breathing tube out right then. And the nurse said, "Do you know who this is?" pointing to me. And Jim said in this really weak, sad voice, "It was the most beautiful thing I've ever heard in my life." And he said, "Brad." And I knew that he was still with us, and it was amazing. And we had a long, long, long road ahead of us. It's been a long road since then. Jim was in the hospital for about 12 weeks. And then since he was a contractor, we lost all of our finances, our new home, our cars, all of our stuff that we had to kind of turn around. And you know what, those things don't matter, but you still need them. And so we kind of sucked it together. But what happened was this amazing thing happened to me. One winter night, we were sitting home on our couch, pretty depressed. It was a hard time in our lives. And this voice in my head, and I think it was God, whatever you guys believe, it doesn't matter, said, "Turn on PBS." And I did. And it was a documentary about Tupperware. It's true. It was a special about Brownie Wise. I'm sure many of you have seen it. I watched it, and I said, "They still make Tupperware? Oh my gosh." Just like so many people at our parties say all the time, right? And I quickly Googled, as a joke, "How do I become a Tupperware lady?" Thinking, I don't know. I did, and I found that it's still a thing, and I Googled a director in my area, and I'm so fortunate and blessed that my director, my upline director, her last name starts with A, and that's Mary Anterhouse, who has changed my life, and she touched my heart. She taught me so much. She introduced me to Barb Braden. We're part of Mighty River Sales. I love our organization. doing parties, starting Tupperware gave me the chance to drive out of my house, get to be Brad again, fun Brad, silly Brad, bring some wine to the parties, But then I could go home and be caretaker Brad, and then turn that off and be fun Brad again. And I didn't lose all of myself, because no matter how much you love someone, and I love Jim more than anything in the world, it takes a lot out of you to care for someone 100% of the time. So Jim is here today, and I'm so proud to have my husband here. And he was in a wheelchair for quite some time, and he was actually able to walk into this Jubilee, and it means so much to me. I love you. So Tupperware has changed my life in every way possible. I'm so proud of what I do, the relationships, the friendships, our leaders, our teams, our other regions. There's people that are all over this country that are real, true life friends to me, that have given me hope and strength and courage and love and fun, and it's paid some bills, and it is all good. And I am so grateful that I decided to say yes to Tupperware, and I'm so glad that you are all here, because I think we all love what we do.
Wow, was that? I love you. Brad, that truly is. I have to tell you, when I met Brad for the very first time and we were working on Jubilee, I knew I wanted Brad to share his story with all of you. So you know what, y'all? You just never know when you help somebody come into this business, and when somebody says yes to the Tupperware opportunity, you just never know where it's going to take you. And Brad, we are so thankful it brought you to us. Let's give Brad a great big round of applause.
Be the one to go the distance. Be the one